Do what you're going to do, man. Do what you're going to do. Oh.
Do it.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. It's Kindle Fire here on the Carnival Jubilee, and you're listening to the Carnival Cruising Podcastaways.
Here are your hosts, Thomas Kennedy, Trevor Shelby, Gary Manning, and Jennifer Roll. We talk cruises every day. Let the golden boys and girls take you away to a place of fun in the sun. Join us as we say, welcome to Carnival Cruising Podcastaways.
I'm on a cruise. I'm on a cruise, guys. Guys, I'm on a cruise. Hey, guys, I'm on a cruise.
Don't.
I love that song.
That is amazing.
Oh man, so it's finally good that you guys decided to show back up.
Well, the person, who just said that, is the one who told us it was going to be a highlight show and decided, oh, I'm not going to take the week off like I told everyone else.
And drugging me like they used to do Mr. T for him to get on the airplane or the helicopter, and then sticking me in a cake in a semi truck with no air conditioning.
Hey, Reese said you'd be fine with it. So,
dude,
I mean, I made a couple dollars in tips. I mean,
Jen, I'm sorry you had to see that.
It was good cake.
Well, there you go.
No, you had your cake and you eat it too, huh?
Oh, well, I honestly, I went out to make a clip show and I thought, you know what? I don't want to dig through all these clips. And I was like, I could just get a couple and make it like a hybrid thing. And I literally did that. Like,
you did well. Before. You did good. You did good. So. Oh, I knew you did it on Friday night. Yeah. So that was, that. And I mean, I applaud you for a 4-hour, 5-hour turnaround. I mean, that was really remarkable. You did really good.
Can we just say what was on all three of our minds, that Trevor's just an attention whore?
Yeah.
I thank you. And I mean, I mentioned that in our other group that we have going now called the Podcastaways.
Yeah.
But
because it was supposed to be only one night of lives, and you've gone 2 nights already on lives on that. So
yeah. Well, we didn't realize how fun this week's live was gonna be. So we logged in and get it set up, and we were like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be epic. And like, it just snowballed. I may be going live tomorrow. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Dude, Megan, I'm sure 3 nights in a row right now without Megan is missing you something fierce. So
yeah, she would not be happy about that.
Yeah, we don't want to upset Miss Shelby.
Yeah. Hey, did y'all happen to notice that this week I was able to put out a CCP times out on the Facebook group? I did it today.
Oh yeah. I gave out the schedule of the episode, or
I gave a sneak peek to all the listeners. If you go to our Facebook page over at facebook.com and just search for Carnival Cruising Podcast,
I mean, it just looks AI like it is. I mean,
it's not AI actually. I actually pieced that together piece by piece in my little Photoshop program.
And shit! No,
I did. I swear. I made it where it's a template, so I can just go through and I can change each section.
Mm-hmm. I see it.
Yes.
Okay.
The CCP times.
I don't do Facebook and during the day, so
yeah,
All right.
But
so this is an outline of our show tonight.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about, we're going to have an Am I a Snooty Snoot episode.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to do
director Gary Manning.
Your cruise director Gary Manning is going to ask a question. Are they a snooty snoot? Well, thank you for letting me know that.
Well, you said you had a snooty snoot tonight.
Recycling your sail and sign card, okay, or sign and sail card. Mm-hmm. Medical devices, okay, and a local cruise impact. and more.
Yeah,
Huh.
and more.
And
Dude.
more.
I put the and
Awesome.
more because you didn't.
Is it
send
more
us those
involved
guys.
Fantasy Fest in Key West?
Oh well. You'll have to tune in to find out. So, but no, I just thought we could put out a nice little teaser there so everybody can see that. So,
I like that. That's awesome. So if you don't see it, it's on our page and it's in the group. So all you gotta do is just search Carnival Cruising Podcastaways.
yeah, you don't have to be a part of the group if you're not like I haven't drank the Kool-Aid just yet. You know, I don't want to quite do that.
should drink the
check
Kool-Aid.
it on the page.
If you haven't, you should drink the Kool-Aid. I mean,
Absolutely.
we're the best cruising podcast out there. I mean,
Obvi.
yeah.
There's no denying. So I've listened to the competition for 5 minutes and gave up. So
I mean, none of them has lasted as long as us. I mean, geez.
some of them are still at episode 3. So
Careful.
Careful.
Well,
Oh, I skirt that line daily, man.
John Heald had somebody write to him, and they said, Carnival still provides pencils in the cabin? Really? LOL. Lots of love. That don't make sense. Carnival pencils are unusable. Every other cruise line in the world gives pens, nice pens to take home. What are we supposed to do with a pencil? I hate pencils, and so do most adults. My guest is a passenger is less likely to take one as a souvenir. And this is in all caps, but I'm not going to scream because I respect your ears, unlike some people who try to get a. Oops, I hit the mute button as I did it. So it's because I respect your ears. And so you knew what I was doing. If you didn't watch the video on Spotify.
Well, did he? He didn't do that at all.
But they put in all caps, we want pins. Room number, blah, 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 on the horizon. Now, is this person being a snooty snoot? Is this person? Let us know. Let's discuss it here, and then we'll talk about John's response afterwards.
There you go. Well, I could suggest some things that he could do with the pencil.
Yeah. I mean, but if he really wants a pen, just steal it from guest services, because guest services has pens.
But they're not Carnival branded pins.
Are they not?
Mm-mm. Not the ones that I've gotten from guest services.
Well, yeah.
But I might be wrong. I don't know.
But you
I
know,
will
I
say
mean,
I've used the pencil almost every single time I've been on the ship, especially like doing things like just anything. Like if I'm writing out my laundry service, my free laundry service, it shows up really well on there, and so just throwing that out.
you know, I get that laundry service too, and I don't brag about it. You know.
Oh well, you should.
Jen, you have a pen there in your hand, so obviously you're a pencil snob.
I bring a pen with me because I'm an adult. Those pencils are not meant to be souvenirs. They are functional. They are for you to jot down notes in your stateroom. This settle down, people. I think it's interesting that Carnival is trying to cut down on plastic. They're so clear about that. And so that's why we have the candy straws. That's why there's a whole host of things happening around the ship that are just sometimes a little odd or inconvenient. And yeah, you get a pencil. Cope.
Exactly. And so there was a few comments because I do like to read the comments. Person says, I guess this guy, Glenn, I don't know why he has to throw this out there, but I use the pencil to fill out my laundry bag and then I leave it for the next guest in the room. I do still have several of my Carnival pens. So he's been cruising with Carnival for a while, because we'll get to John's response here in a minute, and you'll see why. I don't use the pencils in the room, but I always kept them for the pens for a souvenir. That was Susan. That was what she had to say.
Okay.
Carrie had the best response, in my opinion. Make a pen a gift for the diamond and platinum people. Please, she said.
I actually kind of like that one.
Not
gonna lie.
Actually, for the diamond, the next one after the hat should be like a reusable straw. So
There you go.
That yes, like a branded Carnival. Yeah,
Yeah.
man, good
Mhm.
idea, Tom. You should pitch that to them. Hopefully, whenever John listens to this podcast, he'll hear
Yeah.
that and he can go ahead and say that. Because
Yeah,
John, we
he can-
appreciate you listening.
John will go, hey, I'm gonna steal that idea.
I got
And
this
so-
idea. Listen to this idea that I
Yeah.
found.
I just had this idea, guys.
Yeah.
So this was John's response to this anonymous poster who wants pins in their room while they're cruising on the horizon right now. All right, there we go. Thank you. And yes, we have for some years now replaced the pens with pencils as we work hard to stop single-use plastic. Someone read John's response before they had their take on being a snooty snoot. And respectfully, I don't have time to ask Uncle Google if every other cruise line in the world has pins in the cabin. But something tells me that this may not be correct. I know the pins were great, and of course they were, and I know people miss them. But I am staying at the Hyatt Continental Marriott or Hyatt Continental Ariat, and there is no pen in the room at all, but there is a pencil. I'm not going to tell you I'm staying at a Marriott right now, and there's a pen over there, so he's not staying at a Marriott. By the way, I was at the mothership yesterday, and I was looking at the pencils in the stationery room, and when I said to one of my colleagues, to be or not to be, think you're funny, she said to me. Get out. You're barred. Anyway, do you use the pencil we put in the cabins? Cheers.
Like I said, I use them all the time. Every time I'm on a cruise, I use the pencil. I don't know.
I mean, I use the pencil, to fill out my coffee order. Back when we used to have, the little hangers,
Yeah.
for room service. But and if I need to jot down like something for my mother or something, tell her
There you go.
I'm getting
Mhm.
I'm going down to get coffee.
Yep. So you write on that little notepad that they give you there, and just
Yeah.
exactly. Yep. So I use the pencil to circle things on my fun times.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then sometimes
we all use it as a pencil.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, it's a writing
So
utensil.
innovative.
So I mean,
but not all of us, because there is the pencil snob over down in that corner over there.
So I just made a post in the Carnival Cruising Podcast Aways group.
Oh,
okay?
really? Let me go look.
And- no, it's not good. It's not posting yet. It's not for you, Gary.
Oh,
Not for you,
It is-
Gary.
It's a timed post, so it won't come out till after this episode airs.
you can do that?
You can do that. You can schedule posts. So and I
you
just
have to be
did.
listed. You have to be listed as an admin on it,
And
and you.
guess what?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
So, you're an admin. So
Yeah.
I just posted that it's going to come out right at 10 a.m. So, with the day this episode comes out on the 26th. So we will it'll pop up. It'll say what should the snooty snoot do with the pencil, and I have a very interesting drawing of a man holding a pencil that is a very large pencil. So, and his quote is, what can I do with a pencil? So,
Wow.
so
Okay.
we will see. He needs to know. So we need to suggest some ideas of what he could do with that pencil.
Did it really say that in the post? I guess it did. I don't. I have very poor
Like how
reading
you started it
comprehension.
off. I don't know.
Okay.
Or what am I supposed to do with the pencil? That's what it says.
No, it says Carnival still provides pencils in the cabin. Really?
But at some point, he says, "What am I supposed to do with the pencil?" Some point, I don't know. I
What
don't
are we
remember.
supposed to do with a pencil? I
Yeah.
hate pencils, and so do
Yeah.
most adults. There you go. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I had to
So-
reread it because it's only the fourth time I've read it today. I didn't even know that they said that in there. Like I said, I have very poor reading comprehension.
So there you
Well,
go.
man, guys, and I don't know, Trevor. I know you got something you want to talk about. I'm going to shut up for this episode and just let you guys and Lady take over and do your thing. So I'm just going to be along for the ride in this
Well,
one.
what do we want to label this person as? Are they a snooty snoot?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
They're
Yeah,
ridiculous.
He's a
There
snooty
you go.
snoot.
There we have an ending to that one. So
Are they a snooty snoot? Yeah, I would think that they were. Yes.
okay, good.
Be happy with what you're given. Don't feel entitled to where you want to be able to have a pen to take home with you. I mean, that's really all they wanted. They want a souvenir. They want a free souvenir of a pen from Carnival.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They feel that they're entitled to it because they paid how much ever money for a cruise.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I do have an update from last episode. I asked everybody, "Do you eat pumpkin pie year around?"
Who really eats pumpkin pie?
I did a vote. I wanted a thumbs up for yes and an angry face for no. And in true Carnival Cruising Podcastaway style, we got more votes of just random emojis than anything else.
Yes.
So,
They get
dig
the
it.
show.
Yes. So I applaud you all. But it does appear, because only 3 votes got it, the mad face would know. So most of us do not eat pumpkin pie year round. We had some interesting comments on there. Mr. Kennedy said pumpkin pie is a vessel for whipped cream.
That's exactly right. The pumpkin it's got to have more whipped cream than pumpkin pie.
Shane said anyone who does is a psycho, in which Teresa said, well, that escalated quickly. Brandon said, I do like the idea, but never do. Megan said, I like it seasonally. Jen said, I love pumpkin pie, but only during the holidays. And really, I don't think anybody really said anything, but when I was a kid, pumpkin pie was like my thing. I love pumpkin pie, and now I'm like okay with it. So, but yeah, I don't need it any other time than holidays. So there it is. Plus, it's not even really pumpkin. So just throwing that out there.
I was very, very surprised to hear what you said, and I even went the next day to the store and tried to find some pumpkin pie, and it said right there on the side of the can, 100% pumpkin.
They can legally say that.
But like you said, it was because they are squash, and squash is a pumpkin, and they don't necessarily specify.
Yeah.
Someone I was romantically involved with back in the day, her mother made pumpkin pie from an actual pumpkin.
Oh, well, there you go.
Apparently, there's
one way
a
to do it.
species of pumpkin that is made just for pumpkin pies.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know. I have heard of a pie pumpkin before, so.
Yeah. I mean, the pumpkin pie was good made with real pumpkin. I mean, a lot, seeing it go from, a gourd to, pie form was really interesting. So,
Yeah.
it takes a hell of a lot longer, too.
I bet. Yeah, I don't know. Really like pumpkin pie. I did when I was a kid. It's like I said, I was a little overboard with that. I packed on a few pounds on some pumpkin pie back in the day, but yeah, no.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a vessel for whipped cream.
Mm-hmm. That it is.
So, shall we talk about what Laura asked us to cover?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good idea. I think we should do
So,
that.
so our Trevor and I's friend Laura, she sent us a message about one of her friends who booked a cruise, and on the accommodation portion, put that she was bringing a CPAP machine. And if any of y'all have ever experienced this, let us know because we have not looked into this yet. But she decided not to bring her CPAP machine. She has decided that she could live the 5 7 days without it, and they wouldn't let her on the cruise. Let this person on the cruise. I don't know if it was a her or not. They wouldn't let this person on the cruise. So, I mean, you may want to make sure that that happens and see if there's a way to update that before you leave. If you decide to not take a piece of medical, a medical device that you said you're going to take on originally with your documents,
So
because yeah,
so she listed it as a device that she was going to bring. So
yeah,
so you would put down a one CPAP machine, and they would then be expecting to see said machine when you go to board the ship.
yeah,
Oh wow.
and
And that's on Carnival?
yeah, yeah, it was on Carnival. They decided, and this person decided not to bring it because they thought they were going to be able, and they didn't, they didn't think they were in need of,
Yeah.
and well, they wouldn't let her on.
Wow.
But who's not letting? Okay, so I say this as somebody who travels with a CPAP. Ain't nobody looking at it. I also don't. I've never had Carnival ask for if I need an accommodation. I call ahead to have the water,
Yeah,
but I just haul it on in my carry-on. I can't imagine Carnival knowing if I had it or not.
Hmm.
That's really
Well,
interesting.
I personally feel it's a made up story, but I don't know.
I mean,
um,
it was told to her, so
maybe,
we're
but
just taking a hearsay story at this moment at this time frame.
I mean, I'm not
I want
saying
John Yield's take.
well, okay. So, Jen, when you take your CPAP machine on, do you let Carnival know beforehand that you're bringing a CPAP machine on?
To the extent that I call the fun shop and I say, I am bringing a CPAP machine on. I need distilled water. Please sell me a
Okay.
gallon.
I wonder if
And then
that's
I
the
leave myself a
difference.
little note. Enjoy your trip, Jen, from Jen. And that's it.
Yeah. I'm wondering if that's the difference because maybe this person has gone through the accessibility team or whatever it's called that helps you with disabilities and whatnot, and maybe they've pre-warned like, hey, I'm bringing on a CPAP or this is something I deal with, um, and then so now they have something that's going to be in their maybe their booking information. So when I go to get on, they're whoever's checking me in is going to go, okay, now where's your CPAP because it's listed right here.
I mean, it could happen. I'm not denying that that's a
Mm-hmm.
thing, but I can't like who's the security? The same people rooting through your cans?
I,
I
I,
want more information.
what type of cans. I'm sorry, I still got Key West in my brain. Um, so my thing is, I don't understand anywhere, whatever you could say that you were going to bring on that didn't bring on, and they're like, oh, so since you don't have that, unless you like, even if you booked a mobility impaired room or a special room and
Mhm.
didn't necessarily need it, they're not going to prohibit you from going on the ship. All right, here's what happened. They had sailed with Carnival previously. They had an outstanding balance that they refused to pay. And when they tried getting on the ship, one of them forgot their CPAP machine at the house. And when they went to get on the, went to go through all of the check-in stuff, it said, "Hey, you have an outstanding balance of such and such. You can either pay it now or you can't go on your cruise." And they were like, "Well, I got a CPAP machine I can sell you." "Oh, wait, no, I forgot it at the house. Sorry." "Okay, well then you can't cruise." That's what I think happened.
That's an interesting theory.
It's a theory. That's a take. This doesn't add up.
I still think that there's a questionnaire or something going on that is stopping people from, like, if you fill it out, because I had a buddy went on a cruise
December,
with
I'm
me,
saying I'm carrying
and
on a
he didn't
CPAP
fill-
machine.
He didn't fill out anything that told them that he was carrying on a CPAP machine. They didn't bat an eye when he carried it on. But I bet you if he pre-filled something out and said he was bringing it on, I bet you somebody checks to make sure it's there so that they don't have any kind of medical issues while you're out at sea.
Guess
But
what?
it's a CPAP machine. You know, if you don't use it, you have like a 1 in 15 million % chance of dying.
It depends on how bad your sleep apnea is.
This is a hill that I am willing to die on. December 18th, when we go to get on the Venezia, I am checking whatever box I have to check in my check-in process that says that I'm bringing a CPAP machine. I don't even own a freaking CPAP machine, but I am saying that I'm bringing one on Carnival, and we're going to see if they're going to restrict me from cruising because I don't have my CPAP machine.
Idea.
No, I'm doing it.
That is not a good idea.
Well, what about this? First of all, I
I'm gonna
want
tell
to
Teresa you
celebrate.
said that.
I celebrate what Gary's trying to do here, but I'd be really sad if he missed his cruise. What if you tried to find this health screening? Like, what if we just go through your contract or your onboarding docs and see if it's in there? Because maybe I've just been real lucky. I've never encountered anything like that. Now, Sailing Princess, they ask you right up front, do you have medical needs?
Well, they did the same thing for my wife. I mean, my wife is diabetic, and so she takes the shot, right? And so she has a disposable container that's in our room, for that purpose. But then at the same time, if the cruise doesn't fall in the time period of when she's supposed to take her shot, she doesn't use the sharps container because she didn't have a needle to put in it. So they've never kicked us off for not using the sharps container.
Well, yeah, but you're not bringing the sharps container on. They're supplying you with this sharps container.
Just like they're supplying the distilled water. We're not bringing it's like I said, that's the same site. That's in my brain. That's the same avenue. The distilled water for the CPAP machine is what they're supplying because you're bringing a CPAP machine. On the other side, they're providing a sharps container because you're supposed to bring on a needle that you're supposed to put in the sharps container.
Yeah.
So if she didn't bring on her medication, would they not let her board?
Exactly. And that's not the case. They don't ask her, "Hey, do you have your shot for what you're supposed to be taking this week?"
I don't know.
Well, this is a heck of a topic, Laura. Thanks for stirring the pot. Here we were having a very easy breezy podcast.
I wasn't even
Darren
supposed to
was
talk
riled up.
this episode.
Gary was just supposed to be decorative today, and now he's planning all sorts of rebellious activities.
He was just supposed to show up and shine his bald head. That's all he was supposed to do. Yeah, you
it is
need to wax
glorious.
it a little bit. You need a little bit more wax.
Oh man, I don't have my towel with me. If I did, I'd go ahead and hit it one time, but I don't. Here, I've got.
Once again, listeners that don't see this on Spotify, you're missing out.
Hey, it worked a little bit. It gave it a little bit more shine.
It did give you a little shine there, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, Trevor, what are you over there doing? I think, when was the last time you spoke to Cowboy Sam? We haven't, it feels like it's been a long time.
It's been a minute, and I gotta say that it is, hang on a second. I just remembered something.
Do we have a speak pipe even?
They've been without work for a minute, so they're taking advice from another podcast that only did like 3 episodes. There was a message that somebody posted on a cruising forum on Facebook, and I thought, you know what, Sam, let's test your chops and see if you can read this, because this is a really interesting message. And so he did it very well. So if you don't quite understand what Sam is saying, there's a reason. This is how this was typed, okay?
We'll post a image of it with the names redacted.
Yes.
For you to read as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be salad in 3 days for my 60th birthday as my husband's treat. We just came off the boat in September. Long story of why we're going for my 60th birthday, although I'm going to be 62, LOL. I'm passed away in 2022. That would have been my 60th birthday. And my best friend from 3rd grade was coming here from Milwaukee and bringing her cousin, who is a party planner from Tennessee, to do my party. And I didn't feel like a party, obviously, so we will be headed out again on the Carnival Sunshine. I'm really excited I think I've ever been, even though I've tried to go to Bermuda 3 times. And each time something has happened, and we didn't go. I'm not going to Bermuda. But after 3 times trying to go, Jesus is trying to tell me I'll better not go. I'm taking that as a warning, so that's just a little story. But I leave again October 26th. So excited. And it should be a good one because it's my 15th cruise, and that's my favorite. Hey, I'll be salad.
Hey, I'll be salad.
that was more painful than reading the thing this morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that hurt my brain.
I mean, like I said this morning, I could have written a more coherent story during my stroke than what was written there.
I don't know if she was having a stroke when she wrote it.
Oh God.
I'm telling you, guys, I mean,
I could have wrote a more coherent song.
I'll be salad in 3 days for my 60th birthday. As my husband.
Really?
We just came off the boat. Long story of why we're going for my 60th birthday. Although I'm gonna be 60.
I'm not going to do the whole thing.
oh, jeez. Dude, that is like a Betty Shea. I don't know if y'all know who Betty Shea is. Oh my gosh, that was awesome. That was classic.
Yeah. I didn't want to do that whole song because I got another.
I'll be salad in 3 days for my 60th birthday.
No, not Dorothy Shea. Dorothy Shea.
How many of these did you
Just came off the boat in September.
Oh God.
How many of these did you do?
I did like 8, maybe.
That first one was classic, though.
Yeah.
That first one was, I mean, that was classic. That was it.
God.
I would like to hear Eminem do it, though.
Yeah, well, don't give me any ideas.
That would be interesting to hear Eminem do something like that.
Yeah.
It'd be like,
hey,
it'd be like him reading it like 10 times the speed.
I got a question for you guys.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Do you guys want to know the results of the Podcastaways 2026 group cruise questionnaire where we asked everybody how many days would you like to cruise?
Oh, I won't be able to sleep tonight until I find out.
Oh my gosh.
Please reveal the whole results.
I would like to know, has everyone in this group submitted their answers?
Well, this is what I'm counting as final because this one's been out for over a week. So this is and I don't see everybody's name on this list. So I'm just gonna throw that out there.
They'll be voting in the second one if you didn't vote in the first one.
No, you can vote in the second one if you plan on going. So I need your name. But I would like to say that we got quite a few responses, and the between 5 and 7 days is what won the poll. So
Yep.
The both 6 and 7 days got 5 votes each, and the 5 days got 4 votes. So if when we go looking for an actual cruise,
And we got more than 5. We got more than 5 votes though too. So that wasn't like it took 100%. That was just what won the majority with the
yeah, that's
votes
the
that were.
majority. Yeah, those are the majority days. Now I'm taking a range of days because when we go looking for an actual cruise, we're going to keep 5-day, 6-day, and 7-day cruises in mind when we go to select these. So that gives us a range of something
That's
that
it.
we can use.
But so
A
that means
lot
we won't
less
be doing
people-
like a 14-day
Right.
journey cruise.
We got a lot less votes for 4 days and 8 days and plus. And we actually had some people just said no preference, just whatever y'all want, take my money. So there you go.
And we thank you for that.
Absolutely.
The go with the
Cash App is
flow,
in the
the
description below.
the go with the flowers are,
hmm
real
That
cool
they are.
people, and I understand there's certain people, for me personally, well, I don't care. Honestly, I did vote with certain days, but I don't care. If it's a 4-day, I'm going to be happy to be cruising with everyone. If it's a 9-day and we're going down to Aruba and Curacao and Bonaire, I'm going to be super excited to be able to do those ports again and cruise with everybody. But I do know that there are a lot of people who don't want to travel all the way to Port Canaveral or all the way over to Galveston or wherever they may be going for a 4-day cruise.
Yeah.
And I get that. I mean, I do, because that's a lot of, truthfully, like for some of them, like those that live in Michigan and up in Cleveland and all that area up there, it's a day to fly in, a day to fly out. Sometimes it's 2 days, depending upon how they want to do it, and so you do all of that work and everything else for a 4-day cruise or even a 5-day cruise, and it just doesn't really feel like it makes it, you're not enjoying your cruise. So I get that. I get why people don't like 4-day cruises.
Well, I will say that because I'm glad you brought this up, because the next vote that we're currently running is which port should we cruise from?
Mm-hmm.
And these are the choices right now: Galveston, Texas; New Orleans; Mobile, Alabama;
Jen, why are you rolling your eyes?
Port Canaveral; Miami, Florida; Jacksonville, Florida; Tampa, Florida; and wild card Los Angeles, California. So,
Which I heard was
West
Long
Coast
Beach.
listeners need to jump in and get Long Beach going. We
yes.
can't lose out to Florida.
Well, I will say
Or
Florida
Mobile.
is not in the lead.
Who's in the lead?
I will say Long Beach is not in the lead either. They have the second most least votes.
I clicked. I said anywhere but Long Beach in my
Yeah.
response.
So the ones that got the most votes, of course, is Galveston, Texas, and New Orleans, and they are tied right now, 8-8. This is all subject to change. We're gonna let this run for a few more days. We actually had 11 responses yesterday. We talked about on the podcast, Away's live stream, and now we have 13 total responses.
It's awesome. So that's a good turnout.
Mm-hmm. So, and it really confused me, okay? Because I was like, I it shows on here Will, and Will is counted twice. And I was like, all right. I said, I kept thinking, maybe Will is like, oh, I'm platinum, so I can go ahead and vote twice.
He's platinum and a half.
Yeah, he is platinum and a half.
He's
So,
double platinum.
I will say we actually have 2 Wills. So they didn't put their last name. So
Yeah, we got Will
was
G.
Like, that is great.
Yeah, Will G, who is like, at platinum and halfway to diamond, he said.
Mm-hmm.
But and then you have another Will that also participated. So thank you to everyone who has participated. And for those of you who have not participated, make sure that you go fill out the Google Documents form and say where you want to cruise from.
Personally, I'm kind of rooting for Galveston, but I would not hate New Orleans. So.
I truthfully, I mean, personally, I am rooting for New Orleans more, only because I love New Orleans. However, I know that the ships that go out of New Orleans aren't the ones that go out of Galveston. So I can see going out of Galveston for the ships, but your ports are going to be pretty much the same ports going out of either New Orleans or Galveston.
Or
so,
I'm surprised you're not more mobile. So
well, Mobile, okay. Mobile is an option, but again, I personally, and I'm just going to shut up. Y'all know my feelings on Mobile. That's the best port ever. That ship is the best ship ever. I want everybody to cruise out of Mobile at least once, but I get it.
That's great. Well, I would for the ship. So if it's the Spirit, I'm all for it.
See, I'm just in for the ride, There you go. I just, I'm here. I'm alive. I may not have all my bodily functions at the moment, but I'm working on it.
And man, I'm glad you're here for sure. I'm glad you're here with us tonight too, Tom. So
yeah,
but yeah, it gives you a whole new outlook, man. I'm sure. I haven't been that, but some of the news that I've got this week, I told you guys, Jen, you weren't in the show before. I'll tell you after, but yeah, I've got some news this week that just really makes you learn and makes you value life and how much it is worth it. So
absolutely. And for the people, normally in a poll like this, I would toss in like, I don't care, let me go anywhere. But I wanted definite answers on this. This was a really important question for our listeners. If you're gonna, this is where you're gonna be flying to if you really want to go on this thing. And so if you're serious about this, I mean, this is what we're doing. So that's why, we're trying to get some good, honest votes here. Now, next week, I haven't quite figured out what we should be deciding. Maybe where should we be going? Where is the cruise going to be to?
I think if we once we get, unless if it's say Port Canaveral or Miami, if it makes a huge comeback, I don't know that we really need to worry about that per se. Because like I said, New Orleans and Galveston are pretty much, Mexico, Western Caribbean stuff. Now I do know Galveston is starting to focus more on some of that Eastern Caribbean, but those are longer cruises. Those are 8-9 day cruises, I think. So I don't know that we're going to be able to get those in there and be able to go that way. So I think that the next question probably will be at what time period, where at, what time of the year do you want to cruise?
Yeah.
That's me personally.
I mean, once we do get it kind of zeroed in on a port or two, then we could also list out where those ports go to in 2026 and list it out that way as well. So we're not giving them false hope for Curacao or something like that. So,
exactly. Yeah. I mean, I am 100% a proponent of going to Aruba. I would love to take the Carnival Cruising Podcast Aways cult members to Aruba.
Could you imagine Sammy's reaction if we brought the cult with us?
Yeah,
exactly. And that is the number one reason why. And maybe CCP3. I don't know. We said we're not going to number them, or but maybe our 2027 we can go ahead and just say, look, it's going out of Miami to Aruba, and and that's going to be it.
8 or 9 day cruise. You got to get those extra days in just to get out there, guys.
Exactly.
But
yeah, I think that's like the number one thing for us is to take everybody down to meet Sammy and just get the experience of him.
Yeah. Jen needs to experience Sammy because
Jen's not going on any of our group cruises.
She could be his next ex-wife.
Everyone
Wow.
was his next ex-wife.
Dude, that was one of the funniest sayings
He
ever.
said that about
Everything,
everyone.
everybody. We'd ride by somebody. Hey, there's my future ex-wife.
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
Oh, God.
yes. Sammy was amazing. Sammy was
Yeah, he
great.
was.
So
I do want to throw out there, if you want to participate in this poll, go over to the Facebook group. I know that not everybody's a Facebook person. Make a fake profile. I don't care. Go on over there. I will have it. You go click in there and you'll be able to go vote. I'll tag it at the top of the group or something so it's easy to find. So this week, Gary and we've been continuing the live streams over at the over at the YouTube channel.
and I want to thank Jen. Let's go ahead real quick. Reese wasn't able to be here tonight. Reese made it last night. We had him in Key West on Monday, walking around. He got in maybe a little bit of trouble here and there and had to do some, so we sent Jen down there last night with some bail money and a plane ticket for Reese to get home. And so that's why Jen's name is Jen, not in jail, because we thought seriously, because she was so late to tonight's recording, that we thought she was in jail. But yeah, so I just want to throw that out there. But yeah, go ahead now and talk about
so this week we were getting all ready for the live show, and we set up a live stream camera somewhere around to get some interesting stuff and beach scenes and whatnot. And we were looking at Key West, and there is a fantasy fest going on, and it was incredible. It was like the best thing ever. It's the best thing I've ever seen in my life, and I want to go next year. It's going to be awesome. So, and Megan already said that I can go, and she's going with me. So, so Teresa, book it with Gary.
I seriously doubt that Megan said she would go.
If it was said on this podcast, it's true. But so, anyways, it was a very risque adventure. It was fun. And we had a fun time people watching and seeing all kinds of things. So we had Reese on the street. And so Reese, we flew him out there as quick as we could. He got out there with his phone, walked around, and showed us the sights. It was a lot of fun. And then he found a bar, and he found Luigi, and it was game over from there. I mean, he just featured Luigi all night. I mean, every time we switched back to Reese, it was Luigi. So,
and what was funny, Jen, is I don't know, Trevor, if you were leading this way, but I got to cut in and just say, Jen, last night you befriended Luigi again, and Reese was not very happy.
Yeah, Reese wasn't very happy with this.
That's why he's not on the episode tonight. That's why he's not here tonight, is because he's in the basement pouting.
Yeah, we can't
because he thought that you hooked up with Luigi, and his heart. He left part of his heart. He even told us last night in the live.
Yes.
He left part of his heart in Key West. And then the next night, you want to go find Luigi while he's not even playing at the bar, and then turn the camera around and take a selfie with Luigi while Reese is there on the live watching.
What's really funny, and this is just, because it's all a joke, is the girl that
I don't know. This is a joke, dude.
Jen,
this is like legit.
We kept saying it's Jen, and she turns the camera around, and her face is painted, all this stuff. It vaguely could have been you.
I mean, go back, go over to YouTube, search at the Podcastaways, because that's the channel over there. Just go into about 30 minutes or so into the live and just watch in there. And then that's about 30, 45 minutes in is where she does it.
Yeah.
And it was so like,
funny.
Oh my gosh, it was Jen.
Yeah. But we created a phone number through Google Voice. And I just want to say that we were using it as a way that if anybody had a question, we're getting where we throw out some silly questions. And if anyone doesn't want to answer in the chat, maybe they want to keep their name out of it. We set up this text message line, and so that they could go ahead and send in a text message, and we would read it out without their name. And then we kind of came up with the idea of, because it has a voicemail, that maybe if any of you listeners, if you hear or if you see anything that's very snooty. I'm talking about the snootiest of the snoots. People extremely angry at any cruise line.
We had the little @ symbol or the hashtag snooty snoot in the comment section.
Mhm.
This is next level now. This
Yeah,
is next level.
So you could now give them this phone number. The phone number is 405 300 0433. That is 405 300 0433. Give them that phone number, and they'll be met with a voicemail that promises a prompt return call, and doesn't say what cruise line, and then we can listen to it.
For those of you that are watching on Spotify, that number is now on Spotify in our video.
Yes.
So you can copy it down easier.
Oh, I will not put it in the description because I don't want to give it away. So
Exactly.
Oh.
Wow.
Although I may put it as cruise line complaint line. So it shows up all over the internet like that. But yes, no, absolutely. Send us the snootiest of the snoots that you can find, and we will perhaps listen to those on the air.
That's it. So
I've already got a few not voicemails, but I've gotten quite a few text messages, so it's been quite humorous. I can kind of guess who they're from, but
call or text your complaints to 405 300 0433. It is the cruise complaint hotline.
Yes.
So, speaking of complaining, can I know I said, I said I wasn't going to talk, but I got to get this off my chest. I went to the restaurant prior to recording tonight, and I'm a big Yelper. I rely on Yelp 100%. Every time I go to a restaurant, I always Yelp it just to see where I'm at, what all my other foodie people, Yelpers, feel about the restaurant. And when I get in, then I'll look at the menu, and then I'll go in and look over and say, okay, well, what do people think about this? What do people think about this entree on the menu? So tonight I decided I wanted chicken tenders because I love chicken tenders. Okay. And so tonight I look at Yelp for the chicken tender plate, because if you are a chicken tender connoisseur like myself, you know that not all chicken tenders are the same. Okay. So I get in there, I'm looking through the reviews, and one person had the audacity to say in their review, they've taken so many things off of the menu, I'm now restricted to ordering chicken tenders like some kid. And it bothered me because chicken tenders get a bad rap. You don't hear about people having to go to Shaq's Big Chicken or just Big Chicken on Carnival XL class ships to get chicken tenders. They want to go to Guy's and get a hamburger, or they want to go to Blue Iguana and get a burrito. But I love a chicken tender because, like I said, it can be such a complexity in them. Different ways to, you can sauce them, you can have them dry, and it just bothers me. And so I want to know if you are a chicken tender enthusiast like myself, come on over into the group and let's talk chicken tenders. If you feel that chicken tenders are a kid's item, I'm glad you have that opinion.
Well, here's the thing about chicken tenders. Chicken tenders are the food of picky eaters. I've got friends who that's all they eat is chicken fingers because they don't like anything else besides Mexican food and chicken fingers.
Okay, I get that. And so kids are picky eaters, and so thus that relates the chicken tenders to the kids type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's the thing now, but I'm not a picky eater. I mean, hell, look at me. I'm 300 plus pounds, but
I did find, so I did a quick Google search. There is actually a support group for chicken tender. You can sign up for it at 405 300 0433 and send them a message, and they will actually connect you with a chicken tender lover near you. So,
Wow.
oh, it's too funny.
You're just gonna push that number for anything now.
All right. So you said it's 405 300 0433.
Yes.
Okay. I heard that you like chicken tenders. I do too. Yeah, I'll stop. I'll make
And
it
when we
good.
when we come back next week, we will have an answer for for Mr. Manning on his chicken tender love match.
Yes.
Chicken emoji. What's a tender? What's a tender emoji? Oh, they don't have a tender emoji. Okay, just heart chicken. All right, we'll see what happens.
So I wanted to bring up before, because I think we're running a little.
We're getting in
getting
that
up
area.
there. So I did want to hit on a topic today. It is kind of a serious topic.
I just want to show that right there. She is clothed, but that was one of the stills that I grabbed from our live from the podcastaways. That's yes. Oh gosh, I won't show the other one because that'll get us banned on
Yeah, that'll get
Spotify,
us banned.
YouTube, and everywhere else.
So there is some interesting things going on, some interesting things going in the news, and this wasn't like
I've already
major
got a
news.
reply from the chicken tender line.
Oh, did you?
It's the chicken tender hotline.
Well, see, there you go.
Oh, cool. All right, I'm gonna wait for it. All right,
Okay.
that's awesome.
Well, this wasn't in like major cruise news, but I just want to talk about this because this is something that happens and it actually impacts a lot of places. So this is some controversy going on with Bar Harbor and Boston. So the impact of cruise ships is stirring a debate in towns like Bar Harbor and Boston. In Bar Harbor, the small town of maybe, well, it's like 5,600, sees an influx of hundreds of thousands of cruisers between May and August, which overwhelms their streets and all the shops down there, up there. Residents concerned about air pollution, overcrowding, has proposed that they want to reduce the number of cruise ship passengers. With a new vote on November 5th set to decide whether to limit that daily passengers to actually 3,200. Previously, they had capped it at 1,000, but that was challenged in court and overturned. So they're trying to make a compromise, kind of go up a little bit. But, this is something that, they get 5,500 people in 1 month period. And so it's a lot of pretty big influx of people. So it kind of disrupts their life. This is actually something that happens and a lot of people complain about in Key West. So I was going to get what y'all's take is on this, because there's always the good side of it, because there's a lot of people in these places that are like, hey, my whole business is tourism. If they didn't come, I'm not making money. But then you got the people that are like, I've lived here for a really long time, and now this is hectic and chaotic, and I hate it now.
Well, I mean, they've already done this in Maine. They've reduced the amount of cruise traffic in certain ports in Maine. So, I mean, if they continue, they're going to, possibly, shut down all of the domestic cruises. There's potential for that, as well. But they've already, in places like in Italy, they won't allow ships to port, and and they have a limit on how many ships can port because of the fuel usage in that harbor. So, but,
Yeah,
I mean, it is an environmental problem, but it's also, some people's livelihoods. So there's a lot you got to look into on it.
Yeah. I think yeah, like you said, there's like a delicate balance that you got to be able to find. Something that you've got to be able to work out. It's a compromise between both the people that are like, tourism is my livelihood, but also the people that's been there, X amount of years, that we've got to, come up with something.
So this hits home. I'm not going to lie. I was just in Bar Harbor a few months ago, and I was lucky enough to hit Bar Harbor on a non-cruise ship day. And I spoke to a lot of locals there, and also a little bit further inland. We spent the day in Bar Harbor, a beautiful, beautiful place. And it's true. I mean, they have a season just like all of the other quote unquote tourist towns. And it was amazing to me whenever I got off of the beaten path and started talking to locals and asked them, said, what's it like living here? And it was really crazy because they were like, well, everybody wants to move here because they come visit and they fall in love with it because it's a beautiful, beautiful, amazing place. And what happens is they get there, and October-ish, about this time, it starts to get to where everything shuts down and closes because the snows are starting and everything like that. And so it gets to where literally by November, no place is open. Everything is shut down, and snowmobiles become your main transportation. And then it's like that all the way up until March. Sometimes, mid-March or whatever, snow's melting, everything comes back. And then by April-ish, shops start opening up again, and you have April and May. And then June happens, and then all the tourists come back. So the folks who move there only have the 2 months that they get to experience, or the locals even only have 2 months worth of experiencing what true Maine is. And I get it. I understand not wanting to have it. Like we've said, Key West also has their thing. Alaska has their exact thing that they do. I mean, and here's the thing. Charleston voted to do away with Carnival. That's why there's not a Carnival port in Charleston anymore, because Charleston put it on the ballot, and the people of Charleston said, we don't want a cruise ship here. So all of those people who relied on that industry now don't have it.
Yeah.
And so I get locals and not liking tourists, but like you said, it's a delicate, delicate line. We talked about it a little bit on the Podcastaways. Was it last night or no? It was on Monday night when we talked about how there's a certain cruise line that's going away from mega ships and going back to small ships, because they've learned that these mega ships, not every cruise port can berth a big mega ship. They don't have the ability. And it's this is completely reading in my assumption, and we know what assuming does, but those mega ships, in my opinion, probably do a little bit more damage to the environmental side of things, marine life and everything else, going into these ports than a smaller ship does. And that might be why these other islands and smaller ports don't want these mega ships in.
Yeah.
But it's so there's that. I'm gonna shut up now again. I keep talking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, and I'm glad you brought up Alaska, because I was going to bring that up too. Is there's a lot of ports in Alaska that, like, they're only like, there's very few people that are there. That's not, if it's not cruising season. So we were one of the first ships in for the season when on my Alaskan cruise, and so when we were talking to everybody there, it was quite interesting to kind of like go over and just talk to a few people like locals, and they would say, you'd ask them like, well, how's it been? And they're like, oh, well, I just got here. I've only been here for a few days. Like I talked to a lady from Oklahoma, and she was a bartender, And I was like, wow, that's awesome. I was like, how long have you lived here? And she was like, I got here yesterday. And so the whole town is just non-existent for a lot of these places. And they look well lived in. But I can only imagine that the people that do stay, like there's only a limited number of stores open. There's only a limited number of things going on. And their whole town just seems like a ghost town during those off-season times. So
Exactly. So she leaves Oklahoma. Does she think that there ain't no love in Oklahoma?
you know,
And maybe just the whistle of that long black train,
she,
when it's coming for you. So it's just riding in on the wind and the rain.
She actually told me she lives in Tulsa and that she has what was it? She's a like a pretty big time like bartender. She got in with a business and kind of made.
Did she get saved in the Red River?
Yes.
And then that Red River is trying to drown her.
And they offered her the opportunity to go ahead and do this because she's really good at what she does.
Because she said it's not going to knock her down. She's going to.
Anyways, so they.
Wow.
Oh God.
Throwback to last night.
Yes.
Or Monday night.
Oh, I kept trying to say something. He wouldn't stop.
That was awesome. Well,
but
I'm going to shut up
right.
now.
Well, we got anything else?
No.
Nope. All right. Well, make sure you go over to our Facebook page and our group. Just search for Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. Join it, and we have a great time in there. We're always posting silliness and having a good time and connecting and planning cruises and all kinds of stuff. So just join us. And let me think. Go to our SpeakPipe page, speakpipe.com/Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. Link is down in the description. And yeah, just know that you are unique, you are special, and you are loved.
And remember, anything that happens on the ship stays on YouTube. Bye.
57 days, I'll have a breakfast burrito in my hand, but not from the Blue Iguana.
Ooh. Well, everybody, as we embark on our next journey, remember to pack a pen. Or don't complain about the pencils. Bye.
Shave the foosball tables. Bye-bye. See ya.
Adios.
Later.